Hey, welcome back to On the Level Leadership. I was going to do a different video this week to talk about how to coach your employees, but as we go into the Christmas/slash holiday season, I was really reflecting on what is really needed at this time of year. And I know for me, it's getting a good, solid rest. So that's what I want to talk about today, the importance of rest on your success. So, this week I wanted to talk about three things that personally I know to be true with respect to taking a break. And it is the hardest thing for anyone who is super driven or who has, this sort of type A personality or who is a business person because we have this notion that in order for us to be successful, we have to be busy and that we have to be go, go, go all the time. But that is, in fact, not the case. In fact, if you are too busy, you can actually become a lot less productive and it actually can impact your success levels to a very large extent. So in this video, I really want to bring across three concepts that I feel are true when it comes to taking a break. The first is taking a break is all about achieving clarity of vision, clarity of thought. So when we are super frantic and busy and we're trying to, stick handle a bunch of stuff at once, our thoughts can become quite muddy. It's very hard to stay focused on anything when your brain is in stress mode. It's important that on a routine and regular basis, you build in rest time or what Inc.com calls check-in time with yourself in order to ensure that you don't lose clarity on what is important, what are your priorities, what do you really need to do, what can wait, what can be done later. So it's really important that you check in with yourself. So a suggestion would be, and I do this myself, is on a weekly basis, check in with yourself to say, okay, what have I done this week? What needs to really continue to be done this week? What do I need to do next week? And so you can build that clarity on a Sunday, on a Monday morning, whatever works for you. But it's really about checking in with yourself, taking a minute to pause, breathe, take a break, put everything that you're doing aside for 15 minutes, an hour every week, where you can really focus on getting clarity on what it is you want to achieve that day, that week, that month, right? On a monthly basis, you should be spending a weekend where you completely disconnect and unwind, like really literally leave your phone somewhere else in the house and not check it every 5 minutes for a weekend. Spend time with your family, focus on other things so that you can come back to the workplace or to your business with more clarity and more vision because your brain has had a chance to decompress. And on an annual basis, you should be doing this for a month or two out of the course of the year where you spend some time really reflecting. And I know that people out there going, a month or two, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I only get 2 weeks vacation. Well, if that's all you get, then spend that 2 weeks sort of literally taking a break, turning off the phone, not checking your Instagram account, not going on Facebook, not looking at your business email, but really taking time to allow your brain to decompress and focus on other things other than your workplace. Because when you do come back, you will have greater clarity because your brain will be rested. So that's really important. And for me, that helps me gain clarity because I get super overwhelmed by all of my thoughts. And the only way to reduce the overwhelm is to literally take a break and allow my brain to achieve the clarity it needs to be able to move forward. So the second thing is that it allows you to recover. And we are a whole being, all of us. We're not just physical beings or emotional beings or psychological beings. We are a combination of all those things, including spiritual, etc. So when you take a break, you're literally allowing yourself to heal. And, we go through a lot of stress on a day-to-day basis for a variety of reasons. And that breaks us down. It breaks us down at the cellular level. It breaks us down at the spiritual level. It breaks us down on the emotional level, psychological level. And what that does is if you don't address that by taking little pauses on a regular basis, you're going to spiral kind of out of control. That's when you start to depend on things like alcohol or sex or video games or buying or shopping to fill these sort of like gaps, these sort of things that come up for you. I think taking a break and being able to recover yourself decreases your cortisol level. It will literally keep you alive longer. Something I've learned as I've gotten older, as I get to my mid-century mark in my life, is the need for recovery is not an easy one for me. I need to learn more to listen to my body, and I would recommend that you do the same. When your body tells you you need to take a nap, then go take a nap. If your body tells you that you need to go to bed early, then go to bed early. And the reason for that is because your body is telling you, your body will tell you exactly what you need in order to recover. So again, it's all about allowing yourself the ability to rest and recover, because if you don't, you will get sick, whether it's mentally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, you will become ill. I have. In my burnouts, I've had abdominal issues, I've had palpitations, I've had episodes of depression over my life because I never took a break. So it's really important to just allow yourself the time to rest and recover. And the third big thing that I find rest allows you to do is it helps you to make better decisions. So when you're constantly stressed out, your cortisol levels are up and running, then what happens is you're constantly in this flight or fight response. And when you're in flight or fight, you cannot be strategic, like at all. It's just not possible. Your brain is all about survival. It's about getting through the day, getting through the week, getting through the month, and it's not thinking in a strategic or proactive way. You will always be reactive. You'll be perhaps highly emotional, maybe highly sensitive. And so I know for me, that's where I go. I would be interested in hearing actually when you're stressed out, what kind of reactions you get in the comments below. But for me, I don't make great decisions when I'm stressed out. In fact, the worst decisions I've ever made in my life were out of reactiveness, right? They were out of some sort of knee-jerk response, as opposed to taking time to sit back, reflect, allow the brain to process, take a few deep breaths, and then make the right decision based on logic, based on sense, based on practicality, rather than emotion, knee-jerk, stress, non-strategic perspectives, right? So for me, it's all about making better decisions. And if you want to be successful in life, you need to be able to make good decisions. And sometimes you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay, but you need to be able to make good decisions. And the only way you can do that is by taking a damn breath. So if you stop and breathe once in a while, it will help you make better decisions. I spent a lot of time trying to decide whether I want to leave my employee job in order to pursue my career as a coach. When I was in flight or fight during COVID in my public health role, it was impossible for me to make that decision. But when I was forced to go on leave because my body broke down out of stress, I had all sorts of physical symptoms and had to take some time off to get some testing done, because we really legitimately thought I was sick. The reality is it was all stress related. And when I took that time to take a break, that's when I was able to gain some clarity, a vision of, yes, I want to do this. I want to take on coaching. I want to take on the role of an entrepreneur or solopreneur for now. I allowed myself the time to recover, to physically get better, to psychologically get better. And I made the decision in that time frame that this was something I needed to do for myself. So taking the 4 to 6 weeks of break, which was forced on me from a physical perspective, actually ended up being a really great thing for me because it gave me the time to really reflect, to think through all the things, to feel what I wanted to feel, and to process what I needed to process in order to make the right decision for me. Now, one could argue, Tammy, you haven't been in business for 2 and 5 years yet. This may not be a good decision for you. You may find 2 and 5 years from now that this was the biggest mistake you made in your life. Maybe, but I highly doubt that. So that's the thing, is that when you have clarity of vision and you've allowed yourself to make a decision based on rational thought and and I would even say based on feeling, I felt in my soul that this was the right thing to do. And when you're stressed out, you don't have the time or the energy to think about that. And I wasn't prepared to hear myself when I was stressed out. I was too busy trying to deal with everything else going on in my life and my work life. So, again, when you quiet everything around you, it really allows your inner self to really come out and to speak, because your inner voice will not speak unless you are willing to listen to it. So, your true self will not present itself if you keep all the noise going. So again, you want to make better decisions, you want to have clarity of thought, and you want to make sure that you keep yourself alive because you can't work if you're dead, then you need to allow yourself to recover by taking a break. So those are the three things that I find I've achieved as success measures for myself when I allow myself to take a break. And I totally get it if you're like, I can't do that. I can't turn off my phone. My business doesn't allow it. I get it. But you need to build some time for yourself and give yourself permission. It is okay to take a break. Some of the most successful people in the world do it. So you need to build it into your lifestyle and into your work style because it will ultimately make you a much more successful person as a whole. It will keep you alive. It will keep you happier. It will keep you more stable. And it will make you a much better leader and a much better boss as you go forward when you allow yourself to give yourself some space. And on top of that, you will be modeling the way, which is really important for your staff and your teams to understand that it is okay to take a break, that we don't have to run ourselves ragged every 5 minutes, right? So anyway, so that's it for this week. I wanted to thank you so much for being here. As you know, I am here every week. If you ever want to grow as a leader and you want to understand what this coaching thing looks like, there is a link down below for my intake time frame where we can have a coaching call conversation, no strings attached, just so you can get a sense of what that feels like and what that's all about. But also, I want to model the way here. It is the holiday season. I do celebrate Christmas. And so after this video is launched, I will not be online for the next 2 weeks. I will see you in January. But if you do want to see content on this channel that is either leadership focused or coaching focused, because I'm all about helping coach you to your success, you can certainly subscribe to this channel. It really does help out if you also give it a like, if you got anything out of this video. And otherwise, have a great holiday season, folks, and I'll see you in January. Talk to you soon. Bye.